The half moon is Diana the Huntress. Again, they hunted here. Up above it is that half moon is called the tympanum. The tympanum says planting fields because the Matinacock Indians were here and they used the grounds for farming. And you can see that they have the vegetables there, the three sisters, the corn. All right, so in this entranceway, this tour, a men's bathroom. What I want you to see is here, is this door. This is a pattern that you're going to see copied throughout the house. It's called linen fold, special carving. Okay? And you can see his style here is a lot of English oak paneling. Very masculine, isn't it? Come look at his deck. Mr. Coe envisioned this as being his weekend office. And so his workers could come in through this door with, they had a furnace here. The house was modernized for the time. Even though we have the 17 fireplaces, if you look on the sides of the fireplaces, you'll see the vents for the heat. The chandeliers were converted from gas to electric. But the only thing that is not modern is in this room. In here is a wine cooler. Mr. Coe did not want a refrigerator because he didn't want a motor to disturb the family. Oh, excuse me, too much noise.
So maybe that's not original.
Yeah. This is royal.
It's crappy everywhere because this place does build it the barons.
Suit of armor here and the entrance way. All right, Mrs. Coe's side, May Coe.
This is cool.
Ooh. Very, very different. Very, very French. She was famous in her day. In fact, I've got to look her up again because somebody said she was involved in a scandal. I can't wait to find out what it is. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Mr. Coe's den, guess what room it was used for when it was the school years? In bonnets, because farmers were stealing boy babies to become workers. See, this is more that linen fold. This is an elevator. It used to be a dumbwaiter, but it's an elevator. Real old-fashioned with the cage across. You look at the top, it has these little gold medallions. It's beautiful. If you take it up halfway. Now, as you come through, look at these beautiful carved doors. I told you we had lovely woodwork, and this is it. Some of it. Man at arms and housewife, made to look as if it were done from the 1500s. The fireplace, each one of the little curls has a duck head. So if I have a bunch of kids here, I want to keep them busy, I tell them, please count the duck heads. You look up at the ceiling, and if you ignore the lights that are punched in by the school, you'll see that there's even carvings where the beams are. Important to this room are the state hundreds. The candelabras here are original. May loved them. She traveled with them. Can you imagine having them packed up and brought to Wine Robert? Of the horses, they had a stable. May I borrow this paper? Just for a minute here. If you look, can you see that he has his tone wrapped? Okay, up to the second floor. This is where we came in. Books and information on American West, and the Coes love the American West. Mr. Coe has the same things: fireplace, central heat, private bath, walk-in closet, magic buttons, and the safe behind the curtains, and of course, a beautiful view.
I'll take any of these rooms.
Cornflakes. He also, besides cornflakes, he was very into sanatoriums and healthy ideas. He decided that if you have the heat from the light with the steam, you know, I guess it's something like a sauna. To me, it spells electrocution. Wouldn't get me into it. No way. Now, he does work. It asked us not to, you know, really step on it because it's over 100 years old. But
Wow.
people have been on it and said, yeah, it's pretty accurate. See, this was one of the trees that was hit by Superstorm Sandy. It was 1/3 larger, and you can see that they planted a baby tree next to it to try to fill it in. It's a weeping silver linden. It's bigger than most Manhattan studio apartments. Okay? They've reconstructed this room to look almost exactly like it was when he. Yes, I was here when she was up on the ladder painting some of the birds and butterflies. Mansion one night to get it done for the 100th day because they were having a big megillah here, and I thought that was the ghost here. All right, so recreated the room from like these two pictures here, and if you see what.
There's a painting of a ballerina in this room. It says it's from Paris, 1922.
That. Rich Shin, he painted it, but this is a recreation of it. Oh, they covered it up. The circular pond out there. That. This is the Great Hall, and this is where Madeline got married. What's important in this right now, your oldest stained glass windows are the little guys here. The painting over here, one of my favorite fellows. This is May's father, Daddy Deep Pockets, the partner of Rockefeller. Because if Rockefeller had a problem, he'd go in and solve it. At, Institute of Higher Learning for African Americans, how did he afford an institute for, a university? Henry paid for it anonymously. He not only paid for the university, he built 65 schools for African American children in the South so that they could prepare to go to a university. The two big paintings here are meant to impress you, so please be impressed. And the rest are paintings of the family. Davenport, the dishwasher wives, please. Music and merriment. Beautiful wood carvings. Those pieces of wood here are called barley twists. It's one piece of wood. Drum kit up there, they had a player piano. During the school time, this was the library, and that's where the stacks were, okay? And then down here was the study area. If you would please look up at the ceiling and ignore the hi-hats that have been punched into it, does it remind you of anything? Yes, inside of a bottom of a boat. Bingo. Became a school. Now, during the school time, right up to the door with the horse, get rid of their dirty clothes here, whatever, the muddy boots, have the stable hands take away the horses. Now, we just made a complete circle, and we're going to go outside.
See the exhibit.
Okay. This always surprised me. The sun is perfect. Can you see the carved faces between the first floor and the second floor? Corbels. Those are medieval faces. That's all, just for decoration. Over here. So we're going to go into the car. The man with the big ears on the right was Mr. Coe's valet. The gentleman in the center with the goggles, his chauffeur. And Mr. Dawson on the left with the headband was his Indian guide when he was on a hunting trip out in Wyoming. Now the story has it that Mr. Coe, many years after his hunting trip, was out in the West and he was at one of the national parks went into the gift shop, and there's Mr. Dawson. He's working in the gift shop there, or sitting, and he stands up and says, "Mr. Coe, how are you?" He recognized him decades later. So they must have made quite an impression on each other to have that recognition, and also that Mr. Coe, back in 1921, had him carved up here. That they have here. And this is May's side of the building, very different from his side of the building, because you do see some flowers. They closed up the circular pool here. Come back in February, opened the Camellia House. Camellia House is over there. Full bloom, phenomenal. Okay, you really want to see that. No charge for that.
Oh, thank you for everything. You're amazing.
My pleasure.
Não queria casar ali, mamá. Mas não queria fazer no Massachusetts.
Yeah, we did think about it. Here, so why don't I, well, we're going. All right, we gotta go first. I saw, I got a boss with a